Hello and thank you for listening to Dragon Wagon Radio. My name is Jake Lloyd Bacon, co-founder of the network, just popping in briefly because it is that time of the year once again. March 2024 marks the 7-year anniversary of Dragon Wagon Radio. For 7 years, we've done the best we can to bring you the most professional podcasts possible. We continue to cultivate communities of people from all over the world, bonded by their love for a wide variety of topics. Dragon Wagon has produced 20 different podcasts, over 1,800 individual episodes with millions of downloads, all completely free to you. So we humbly ask, in honor of our 7th anniversary, that you consider showing your support and playing a part in keeping our shows free always. There are tons of ways that you can help. First and foremost, please check out our shop at dragonwagonshop.com. A fantastic collection of high-quality merchandise is available to you for reasonable prices. You can also visit our support page where you can find a link to make a donation directly and even an Amazon wish list. That's at dragonwagon.com/support. Some of our shows have individual Patreon accounts where they offer additional material. Please consider becoming monthly patrons if that's available. Additionally, leaving a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify costs you absolutely nothing and goes a really long way to help. Lastly, consider sharing your favorite podcasts with your friends. Share clips or quotes on social media. Most shows have their own accounts, but you can also follow at It's Dragon Wagon on all major social media platforms. So thanks again for another fantastic year, for being a dedicated listener, and as always, for being the best part of Dragon Wagon Radio. Happy anniversary, and here's to another great year of your favorite indie podcast network. Now let's get this show started.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a Pop Punk Dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I'm Chris183, and I got a paper cut, Steve.
Do you need a Band-Aid?
I don't really know. Do you put Band-Aids on paper cuts? I usually don't.
They usually stop bleeding relatively quickly, but you probably want some Neosporin and a good Band-Aid. Yeah, make sure you don't get an infection.
All jokes aside, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to High School Never Ends, and welcome back to our series that we're calling Fueled by March. That's right. We're going through some of our favorites, some of Steve's favorites, some of my favorites, some of neither of our favorites. I shouldn't say that. Bands and albums that were on the Fueled by Ramen label. And today, I think we gave it away already. We're going to talk about the album, the Papercut Chronicles. That's going to be by a band by the name of Gym Class Heroes. And this is coming out of the year 2005. Steve, do you remember 2005?
That was a good year. I graduated college. I entered the real world. It was quite the year for me. I do remember it fondly. Some of it.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you remember the hit single off of this album, Cupid's Chokehold, that they drove into the ground. It was sad how much they drove this song into the ground. It was played everywhere and every time. Do you remember that?
I don't feel like I remembered hearing it all that much. No, I think they released it. It was on this album, but I think they released it when the next album came out, like as a single. So it may have been after 2005. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know. So did you hear it on like all the radio stations? I didn't. Yes. I mean, I heard it. I don't remember it getting beat into me though.
You know, like how you wake up in a cold sweat. Like, you know what would wake me up in a cold sweat is when in my head I would hear da 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 da, and I would wake up, and I wouldn't know what to do because it was just like ingrained in my head, that sound, that awful, awful sound.
So I take it not a fan. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, we'll get into that. I feel like that's not necessarily true. And we'll talk a little bit about our backgrounds. I think it's well known that Wingman Steve, you're a fan of some rap music, and this would you consider this rap? I think it's safe to say that it's a rap album, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a melding, a meshing of different genres, but I think rap is probably hip hop is probably the major one.
I don't even know if it's a melding of different genres. I'd like to hear your take on that. But so what I see is, rap music, hip hop music, they're able to take different sounds, different styles, different types of music and kind of work that into the beat for each of their songs. So I don't necessarily consider that a melding, But I do know that what Gym Class Heroes does with those beats is a little bit different than your average, rap artist. I guess. I mean, I know that nowadays, rap artists do a lot of different things with their beats. So maybe that's a generalization that it's not really fair. But I know for 2005, Gym Class Heroes, they definitely did a lot of things different in terms of the beats they used. But I think the package was still going to be in the genre of hip hop rap.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because the thing is that I don't think that rap incorporates a lot of different beats. I think the thing that makes Gym Class Heroes a little different is that they're a band. They have a drummer, they have a guitarist, they have a bassist. So it's a full band that's playing on top of the beats, where I think a lot of rap, I'm sure that there's guitars and drums and stuff in rap, but I think that a lot of, at least what I think of, is not really done with those traditional instruments.
Yeah, you know who else did that? Was Limp Bizkit.
Well, that was a little bit different. I wouldn't put those in the exact same category, but they did some sort of rapping, and they did have instruments. Yes.
Mm-hmm. See, they did do it. Okay, so we're not going to compare the two, but this was on Fueled by Ramen. This was in the midst of the pop punk boom of the early 2000s, mid 2000s. This album came out. It was a big hit. Steve, do you want to talk a little bit about the album itself?
Yeah, it was produced by Doug White. It sold over 32,000 copies in the United States. Came out on February 22nd, 2005. That's 222. And Gym Class Heroes got over to Fueled by Ramen because Pete Wentz actually signed them to his label, which was also, in conjunction with Fueled by Ramen. So Pete Wentz personally found Travi and Gym Class Heroes and signed them over. So kind of listened to, I guess, their first set of recordings, and they toured for a handful of years before this album. So he brought them over. He saw something that was cool, something that was different.
I was a big fan of rap and hip hop during this period of time too. I had a lot of, maybe more so, maybe 5 years earlier, I was a little bit bigger than that, but I think that still in 2005, I was paying attention to what was going on around me. And this did not fall into the wheelhouse of something that I latched on to. I think it was because of Cupid's Chokehold. And because I didn't necessarily think it was that good of a song, I did not really want to hear more. I had enough of my other stuff that I was okay with and other new stuff that was out that I didn't feel the need to really kind of delve into this any further than I did. So that's kind of where I was at. I don't know if you felt, not if you felt differently, but if you had a different experience.
No, I didn't get too much into them. I mean, I heard Cupid's Chokehold. I heard a couple of the other bigger songs, and Travi McCoy had a solo career, and he and the band have been featured on a lot of other Fueled by Ramen and other bands' tracks. We just talked about Cobra Starship. He was part of Snakes on a Plane, and a handful of other things. So I wouldn't say that I was a big Gym Class Heroes fan, but I was pretty cool with them, and I liked they were doing something different. I kind of think of Linkin Park that mix that rap with the hard rock, and I wouldn't say metal, but real hard rock. And I feel like that Gym Class Heroes is kind of like that, but it mixes it. I'm not going to say that it's pop punk, but I think it's in the same world. I think they fit on Fueled by Ramen. Maybe it's because I know the personalities behind some of these acts, but I thought they were a cool addition. Back drive-through sign bands that were a little bit different too. So I think this is Fueled by Ramen stepping out, I guess, of the just the little pop punk zone.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I agree with you with a little bit different point, but the other point I just don't. So we'll agree to disagree on that. I just, again, I see them as a straight up just rap hip hop group that has a band, and that's fine. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day,
Roots.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit of that. I think actually that's a great reference. They're very similar to that. Obviously, a little bit different of a sound, but I like that. I like that reference, and the Roots are great too. And the other funny thing about it is, a lot of my buddies at the time, they love this band. They always would listen to this, and I really didn't want to. So I was the guy that just wanted to listen to other stuff, and that's just the way I am sometimes with some music. It's just, if I don't like it, I don't want to hear it, and I won't give it a chance. Which, you probably guys out there, me, right? I'm kind of set in my ways in a lot of ways. However, if if something's put in front of me that otherwise I would have ignored, and it's good, I'll admit it. I'll admit that I was wrong to an extent. And I think with this band here, with this band or group or whatever the artists, I would say that, I probably should have given it a little bit more of a chance beyond Cupid's Chokehold, because there's a lot of good stuff on here that isn't that song.
Yeah, the Wikipedia says that they are an American rap rock band. That's what Wikipedia calls them, rap rock.
That's Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit's rap rock.
Rap rock. Yeah, I don't know. And also, the reason they're called Gym Class Heroes is because Travi met the drummer, Matt McGinley, during their high school gym class.
Did you like gym class, Wingman Steve? Did you enjoy gym class in high school?
Yeah, I think I did. Other than running the mile, that was the worst thing ever. But I liked, volleyball, basketball, whatever. You got to play badminton. I think I liked gym class.
There were only certain games I liked. I liked floor hockey. That was fun. I don't think that we played a ton of football, but the one game that I always I didn't dread it, but I wasn't one of the better players, was dodgeball. Because no matter what I did, and maybe I just wasn't the balls I feel like they used were the bounciest of all time. So I could not catch them. They would always bounce off my chest. And there must have been kids in my class with enormous hands, because they were able to palm the ball and just kind of whip it, where I struggle with that a little bit. So
I played in a dodgeball tournament after college with a company that I worked for, and it was exhausting. It was exhausting.
Was it the rules where if you caught it, everybody comes back on, or one person comes back on, or nothing?
I think it's just one person. But this was quite some time ago. This was probably in like 2005 or 6.
But I told the story before, but we played dodgeball with the bowling pins behind us one time, and I was able to hit the bowling pin, and I won the game. So you can hit the bowling pins down and win the game, and you don't have to get everybody out. There's like 4 of them. So that's a memory.
Never played that way.
But these guys were heroes. These guys were heroes of gym class. And actually, throughout this album, they do talk a little bit about high school to an extent. Could say that the one song is definitely on the downside of happiness. But they don't always talk about high school. They talk about a lot of different things. I think that there's a lot of themes here, right? There's happy, there's sad. There's a lot of sad on this album.
There's a bit of sad. There's a bit of heartbreak. There's some happy. I think overall, the whole paper cuts thing is, he's being, he's getting these small paper cuts in life, and hopefully he's got some Band-Aids to put them on, whether that's his heart, whether that's his soul. I think at this time he was only in his early 20s, so he'd lived some life, but not a long life. But he certainly has a lot to say. And one thing that was tough for me to prep for this is I wasn't going to print out all the lyrics, because in rap songs, there's just a lot of words. I would have had to have like 35 pages of lyrics. So I kind of just read them along and made some notes, and it was fun. But that's a little different for me when I prep for episodes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll do so for everybody out there, this is a little bit different of an exercise for us, because for Steve just said why. For me, I mean, I love a lot of rap music, but for a lot of the albums that I really got into, I mean, months and months of listening to that album, maybe longer, maybe a year, right? It just depended. And for me to really kind of understand, know, and inside and out be able to kind of evaluate in my head what the lyrics were, what they meant to me, because there's so many of them. So I think that, for us coming at this kind of first glance, it's going to be a little bit tougher to evaluate this accurately. So this could potentially be one that we come back to someday. But I think initial thoughts are going to be good enough here to be able to let you guys know, kind of just the thoughts and feelings of two guys that are getting into this album for the first time. So that's going to be super fun for us, and hopefully it will be for you too. With that said, anything else about the album before we kind of dive into the tracks here, Steve?
I don't think so. I think overall, this was somewhat new for me, as you said, and I'm ready to get into it.
So I think, just as per normal, like on a lot of hip hop albums, they have an intro. A lot of them do that. And this one's no different, even though it's different in the way that they come in with this instrument. So it's no different that they have this opening track as kind of like an instrumental, but it is different that it's a very weird very weird track in general, because it's got just this weird sound going on with just this off the wall beat going with it. And then that robot assist voice. Steve, do you know what I'm talking about when I say robot assist voice?
Yeah, I do. It sounds like I called it an automated phone voice, but same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like for people that have a hard time talking to, like they give them this voice to be able to communicate with other people. That's where I've heard it before. But I actually had this thing from Radio Shack when I was very little called the Talkatron.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the Talkatron?
It would like change your voice and stuff?
No. This was actually, imagine something the size of like a keyboard that you see on a computer, but it's not a keyboard. It's its own thing. And it's kind of like it's a calculator, and you can type words into it and it'll say what the words are.
Oh, okay.
I believe you cannot use, my brother, I think, has it. I'm going to see if I can get it from him so I can show you what I mean. But it's that sound. So it's really all it is. I mean, it's just this weird track.
Did you make prank phone calls with it?
No, I just added stuff up. Like 1 + 1 = 2.
Hello, is your refrigerator running?
I did not do that.
Well, you better go get it.
I'm going to see if that thing's operational. It took 4D batteries is what it took. It did not last very long. Can you even buy D batteries anymore?
Of course.
Those really big batteries, the big ones.
Yeah, I think. Probably on Amazon like everything else.
Did you like this intro?
This intro didn't do all that much for me. It's got like this kind of like Indian, Middle Eastern like vibe intro to it. The automated phone message has like it has some positive energy about and words about music and about the album to come. But overall, doesn't do all that much for me. I think Papercuts is pretty much the first track in my mind.
And go at it then.
Yeah, I think that Papercuts gives us an idea what we're in for with Gym Class Heroes. There's guitar, there's drums, there's this kind of funk beat to it, and then it busts into the rap type lyrics. So the Band-Aids here are trying to heal his heartbreak, which are the paper cuts. I love how the word paper cut is emphasized, even though it's not necessarily like the focus of the chorus. It's just kind of another word there. It does stand out, and the guitar, the song itself, he's kind of just airing out his dirty laundry with his relationship. And it's got this deedle-leedle-doo, deedle-leedle-leedle-doo of the guitar, which is like very hooky and kind of takes you through the whole vibe of the song. So I thought it was really good first official musical track.
Is he talking about, so I think I know the answer to this, and I'll ask you why, I'll tell you why I think this, or why I'm asking you this in a second, but is he talking about a girlfriend, or is he talking about his mom?
I took this as girlfriend.
You know why I say that? Because there's a line that says, "We met 22 years back, fresh out of the womb."
Maybe that second he was talking about his mom, but I got the impression that it was about a girlfriend.
Now she consumes me, no room for self these days, and she's so demanding, do this, do that. Don't forget to take your medicine. Doesn't that sound like a mom?
You know what? Now that you're reading it back, maybe you're right.
But then like it goes on, it's like it's he says some other stuff that doesn't lean in that direction. So maybe it's both. Because he talks about, I don't know, it's like, I heard she's staying down the street with the deadbeat that don't treat her right, with 2 badass kids, guilt and regret. And I'm willing to bet my last album that she's wishing she was kissing me. So that doesn't sound like a mom. That sounds more like a girlfriend.
It could be. You're kind of blowing my mind here. I didn't get into that.
And you didn't say somewhat. This is the semi-titular track, because it's not the titular track. It's somewhat the titular track.
Yes, it has to do with the title of the album.
You missed your cue. You
can do that sometimes too.
You're always the guy that says that. I don't know why you missed that.
Maybe because it wasn't exact. It wasn't exact.
Yeah. I like that. I like the guitar riff beat behind the track too. I think that was really cool. So you're telling me that this is like really recorded. Like they actually record instruments. They don't record and then take those recordings and spin them into a beat? Do you know that answer?
I mean, I wasn't part of the recording process. I thought it was a full band exercise together.
It might be. It might be. In either way, I really like the guitar behind the beat, in any case. But I didn't love this track totally. Like, I feel like it did a lot of good things. I think the repetitive nature of the chorus, it's an interesting, catchy chorus, the way that he's able to wordsmith what he's trying to say with the paper cut. So I'm into that, but something about this song kind of drags a little bit. Maybe it's because it's just too samey throughout the whole thing. I know a lot of rap songs are, and some of them do it well, but for some reason, like, this did not blow me away. I didn't feel like this was one that really just came out strong. I thought it came out of the gates okay. So that's kind of where I was at here.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So we'll go into this next one, and I wonder if this is the one, because I took some notes here. Is this the one that goes like
that? Sounds like Moonlight Sonata or something like that.
This is this one though, right? Where it does that a little bit. Or is it the next one? No, it's this song.
Yeah, this is the one. Kind of like a funk behind it.
But this has that sound to it. What it does is it kind of slowly goes into that for like maybe several bars, and then it goes back to the regular beat. I really think that's cool. So that's something that really stuck out to me, is the way musically they're able to, once again, kind of do something a little bit different. But this time I think it's much more interesting. And I really thought the beat made this song more so. So this is a good example of, versus the first song, a beat that can keep you interested and really just kind of carry the song through. So I was a big fan of this. And I love also some of the references here. Without looking at the lyrics, like he did the "like whoa." I was a big fan of that song. You know what song I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Black Rob. "Whoa" was the song, but really, really into that. And he also talked about Willis from Different Strokes, and he talked about Bobby McFerrin's "Don't Worry, Be Happy." A lot of cool references in this one. There's more references to come, as we'll get into here in just a sec. But I thought this was a solid track, and I definitely think it was kind of a step up from Papercuts. What did you think?
I liked Papercuts, but this one, it was very funky. I think this one really makes you say, like, Travi has a really good and awesome rap cadence. He doesn't always have to rhyme like every single line, but he does really well. Kind of sounds a little bit like Outkast in this one. I don't know if you got that feeling. Got a little bit of an Outkast feeling from him.
A little bit, yeah.
He talks about being broke but trying to buy Jordans. He's buying cigarettes with rolled pennies. And there was one line where I thought it was very, very like Max Bemis-ish, where he goes, "What do? I resort to TV. In a seemingly lousy attempt to numb myself with lackluster images and insignificant information like Willis was really Ty Bridges, just to have the upper hand in monotonous conversations." When I heard that, I was like, I think that's something from Admit It by Say Anything. But overall, I thought the song was pretty cool. The Decrepit Bricks is an interesting choice. I don't usually think, I wouldn't categorize bricks as decrepit. I think of decrepit as something that had life that does not anymore. I don't know if that's the proper definition. So I would have thought of them as broken bricks or cracked bricks, but it is definitely interesting that he's talking about decrepit bricks.
I'm going to build you a nice house of decrepit bricks.
It'll fall down.
Not if I use the right mortar, it won't. You gotta think ahead. What about the line, "That's fine and dandy, but what's whack is the fact I'm still walking. Like, thank God for Walkmans." I didn't deliver that the way he did, but
I didn't have the delivery on when I read mine either.
I like that. I liked it a lot. I think there's cool stuff in here, right? So I just, again, I'm drawn to the beat here on the song. So he says a lot of cool stuff, but it's the music that hooks me on this one.
All right. Well, we'll move on. I'll start off with the Makeout Club. And if we talked about airing of any dirty laundry, honestly, guys, I love this one. This is pretty much Mambo number 5 if it was a rap song. He's going through all of his previous flings, as he called them, and basically just saying a name and saying exactly what was wrong with that person. And then in the chorus, he kind of puts it back on himself, saying that he needs to change his evil ways. He's working hard, but he keeps making the same mistakes. I thought this one was really fun. I liked listening to each little relationship and what their problem was. Some girls called too much. Some wanted to get married. One was Jewish, so I don't think that was a bad thing, but she did try and make him wear a yarmulke. He did have a threesome with someone's sister. Somebody was on meth, and I think the last one was that someone actually just broke up with him. So that made him super sad. So this is a little emo rap song. I thought this was pretty good. A little emo Mambo number 5. Emo rap Mambo number 5. What'd you think?
You shortchanged the Jewish chick. She always gives me gifts for Hanukkah.
That's true.
To met her folks, she'd try and make me rock a yarmulke. But she looks so damn good, she almost made my ass convert. That's a good line. Like
that's sweet. You should have converted.
This is yeah. I mean, do whatever you want to do out there, ladies and gentlemen. But I am with you 10,000%. This song is great. This is very smart. I think lyrically, he does an amazing job mixing in all of these girls' names with their current situation or with their situations that he had with them. So I really enjoyed that, just like you did, Steve. I also thought that the beat was really good. Kind of sound like a sped up lute or a mandolin, the plucking of a string, but faster. I really like that. And then you got that change up for the chorus, kind of like a funky type chorus. It melded just so well with that mandolin or lute or whatever sound, even a guitar, sped up. I think that they did a fantastic job with both of those things here. I love some of the like he said someone had hammer time feet. That's great.
I thought, is that the same one that had dead bugs for toes?
Yeah, it is. That's the worst. Oh my God. That's just so bad. I don't think there's much more to say here. I just really enjoyed this one. I thought it was good. And I know, offensive or not, I mean, whatever. I'm not going to get into that because I feel like for this one, everybody airs their dirty laundry from time to time about, past relationships. It happens, right? He's just doing it all in one song. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. I think he did it well.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So we go from that to Taxi Driver, and I bet you're very, very jealous that you don't get to kick this one off, Steve, because this is a fun one. This is a fun one indeed. And the reason why is because not only does this song have, once again, a really nice, fun, catchy beat to it behind the lyrical track, but this guy takes it upon himself to start to mix in references to bands that we may or may not have talked about on the show. Actually, we've talked about most of them. So, Steve, how do you want to do this? I don't want to take all the fun. Do you want to go back and forth, and we'll talk about the ones that he talked about here? I'll start. I heard Coheed and Cambria. What did you hear?
Oh, this is going to take a long time. There's a lot of them.
Go for it.
Are you doing it in order of the song?
No, just whatever you have.
Oh, I see. Death Cab.
Fall Out Boy.
Dashboard Confessional.
Taking Back Sunday.
My Chemical Romance.
Jimmy Eat World.
Hey Mercedes.
Is there more?
Yep, there's a lot more.
A lot more.
I wrote them all down.
Wait, before you go, let me just take another look. So I probably can't get to them fast enough. He does talk about Fueled by Ramen. He says cook your ramen to it.
Mm-hmm.
But some of these I probably wouldn't get. So give me a couple more.
So in almost order, it was Death Cab.
Wait, I got one more.
Uh-huh.
Midtown.
He does say Midtown, yeah.
Now you can go.
There's Death Cab, Bright Eyes, Sunny Day Real Estate, Dashboard Confessional, My Chemical Romance, Hey Mercedes, Coheed, Fall Out Boy, Jimmy Eat World, Thrice, Brand New, Postal Service, At the Drive-In, Midtown, Get Up Kids, Early November, Thursday, Taking Back Sunday, and then he just kind of yells out Story of the Year and Hot Water Music, but they are mentioned. And I'm pretty sure there's others that I missed too.
I mean, are you sure? There's like not that many words here.
So the thing about this song that I really like, the first time I listened to it, or maybe the first 2 times, I basically wanted to say to myself, all right, this is fine. Like this is fun. He's mentioning all these bands, but is it just nonsense without any connection? And when you actually read the story and listen to it pretty closely, he does a pretty good job. It's actually like somewhat of a cohesive story of this, I guess this dry. I forget exactly what it was. I'm not looking at all the lyrics, but he does tell a pretty cohesive story. So after I read the lyrics while listening to the song, I was quite impressed.
And you said the Early November, right?
Yes, sir.
I didn't hear you. I think I just caught that. These aren't all Fueled by Ramen bands though, right? So, I mean,
no,
there's no connection
bands.
to that. There's bands that are out there.
Yep.
What about Then She Jetted to Brazil? Man, them pills had me spun. Anything there?
Brazil might be the name of a band. I thought it was, but I wasn't positive, so I didn't write it down.
This is the Story of the Year, of course. This is Hot Water Music. Is that
That's
just
a band.
reference to ramen, or that's a band?
Yes, that's a band.
Hot Water?
Hot Water Music.
Oh, I didn't know. Never heard of them. We should do all the bands that are in this song.
It would take a while.
This is a great one, though. This is a great one. I would definitely play this for somebody that hadn't heard it. And as a matter of fact, I will. Because this is a fun one. I'm sad that I didn't know this one before. Did you know about this way back in the day? Did you know this was on this album?
No, not really. I mean, I guess I might have, but I don't remember it, no.
Younger Steve would have appreciated it.
Yeah. Older Steve appreciates it too. I like it.
Mm-hmm. More so.
So the next song is kind of just a really sad story. Spoken word about somebody who passed away. Not something that I'd personally listen to over and over again, but it is kind of strong and powerful. There's a couple of things like that here. It's called So Long Friend. I don't know if there's too much more to say. What do you think?
Nah, there's not. I really don't like. Yeah, like I don't have any reason to listen to this. I don't want to be heartless, but it puts me in a mood that I just don't like to be in. And it's not like, I understand, if this is like an emotional topic for him personally, and for a lot of people out there that are in the same scenario or had similar experiences. And I totally get that. It's probably what the song with this particular thing is for. But man, I don't know. I just don't want to hear it. So nothing against it. It's just a really sad track. Really sad.
Yeah. And it leads into kind of another sad track called Every Day's Forecast, with rain in the background the entire time. Pretty depressing lyrics. The song, to me, it was just basically saying that like life sucks. There's some stuff about his childhood and his parents mixed in there. Musically, I don't know that this one connected with me all that much. It was pretty chill, kind of floaty guitar and just snare and hi-hat. I think the end of the song where the chorus is going over the rap is really, really good, though. I was trying to call out some lyrics. Oh, I liked that, Mommy taught him how to crack 40s and jack six-packs and oversized sweaters. That was something that was interesting that he learned from his mom.
I don't think, again, not much more to say here. I think you said it well. I really like the line. This is the diary of a breathing automatopoeia. I wonder what he means by that, though. Like, automatopoeia is what? Bang and pow and that sort of thing, right?
I think, yeah, words that sound like they're spelled or are spelled like they sound.
So I don't know what he means by that, but I like the line. And then the follow-up line, now here's another broken link for anyone who thinks my life's together.
I like that, too.
Yeah, that's really good. So some really good stuff here. Yes, it is a downtrodden theme here about his life. Or a life. I don't know. Do you feel like he's writing about himself, or do you think that he could be writing about somebody else?
I think most artists usually write about their experiences, so I would take it for what it's worth and say it's probably about himself. There might be some things that are exaggerated, I'm sure, but I don't know that his mom really taught him how to crack 40s and jack six-packs, but it seems like he's gone through some struggles.
I used to think drinking a 40 was like a funny thing. That was like a funny thing to do. Like I would get a 40 and drink it. And I don't know, like I just felt so proud, but it really wasn't that good.
I don't think they were ever supposed to taste good.
I mean, don't you think like it should taste even like, of course, it's not craft beer by any stretch of the imagination, but everything doesn't have to be craft beer. But it tastes really bad.
Well,
Really
it's not
bad.
even beer. It's malt liquor, right?
Yeah.
I
How
don't
long
even
does
know
malt-
exactly what that is, but
Do you know how long malt liquor lasts? Because I've had a can of malt liquor downstairs for probably about 5 years.
it's probably still good.
Cold.
There might be a date on it. Check it out.
It's Cold 45, but it's actually Cold 45 like Black Label of some kind.
Wow, that sounds fancy. You should drink that.
Dude, when I drank it fresh, it put me on the ground. Like it was not good. It was.
Go grab that real quick. I want you to drink that for the second half of the episode.
I did not. It's warm. Like I left it out.
Yeah, you get some ice.
You want me to put ice on a warm Cold 45 Black Label?
That's right.
All right, next time. But great song. I'm a fan of this one. I was, and I really liked the rain behind it. I didn't love the fact that it was so sad, but for the song, for a lot of the words, I was into it. So, but not as into it as much as the next track. I'm pretty big fan of this next track called Pillmatic. I don't know if you're familiar with, and I don't know if this is a play on Illmatic, by the artist Nas. Does that ring a bell for you, Steve?
I know Nas. I don't think I know that song. I might.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a song or I'm thinking way back if it was a song or an album, but either way, it probably doesn't draw many parallels to that specific reference other than the name. But I think this song really has a great beat to it. Once again, it kind of sounds like those bongo drums over like this high pitched repeating note. You listen to me say that, and you probably think to yourself like, that sounds awful. Why would you say that? But if you listen to the song, it works. They do it well. It mixes fantastic. And usually when you start with a pretty good beat, the rest of the song kind of falls into place. I think that another thing here that really stuck out to me is the fact that he spits a little bit faster than normal. Did you hear that? I said spit.
Spits.
I know it. And,
Nice.
but he does. He ups the tempo, and I was always a big fan of that. Whenever you had a rap artist that would always rap a certain way, like Eminem. Like that's a great example because sometimes Eminem will turn it on and go super fast, and I always thought that was really impressive. So Travi does that here. He doesn't go super super fast, but he goes faster than normal. I like it a lot. I always get into it. Makes the head bob, up and down. Can't really relate to the content in this particular song, but I dig the energy and I really dig the music. So I did not dig the throw up sound either, unfortunately. That was, if I want to listen to this song, I got to listen to the throw up sound, and I wish there was a way around it, but there's not.
I agree. There should definitely be like an edited version that they could put out there.
Like
Curses are fine.
They could have made that its own track, like a 1 or 2 second track at the end that you could just skip through.
Yeah, that would have been good. I like rap songs about drugs. You mentioned Eminem. He's got this song "Come On Everybody," and it's really good. It's basically all about him just getting fucked up and doing all these drugs. There's "Purple Pills" by D12, and I think this one fits like right in there. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do pills. But I enjoyed listening to Travis McCoy kind of Gym Class Heroes talk about this theme. This one has more of that like beatbox kind of style background to it. There's like some congas or some kind of strange drums or something. Again, after he talks about Oxycontin on juice and gin equals projectile wild style burner on a porcelain. And then we hear the vomiting. As you said, could have skipped that. And I wouldn't also recommend if he's going to, doctor says to take 2 and call me in the morning, he's going to take 4 and finish this 40 because life's boring. Again, I think these are very entertaining. These are fun lyrics to listen to. I don't take them and do them, but I liked Pillmatic a whole lot. I thought it was cool.
If you were by somebody that had to throw up, would you go in the other room or would you help them?
Help them?
Yeah.
How so?
Weren't you supposed to help somebody like back in like the college days? Like, hey, I'll make sure you don't drown, face first in the toilet. I'll hold your head up or whatever.
Yeah, I guess if it's a female, you want to hold their hair back so it doesn't get all pukey.
What about your buddy? What if your buddy was in a bad shape and he was laying on the ground?
Laying on the ground? Yeah, of course, I would help. I wouldn't have to be in the. I don't want to get vomit on me, but I might keep a safe distance. But I'm there to help. I'm good.
No, I would just prop them up and close the door because I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, just get the hell out of there.
I would listen in kind of, but like when they would do that, I would plug my ears and then wait and then come back in.
Just go get a glass of water.
Like, yeah, crack the door. Like, are you okay? Oh,
Some
you're
Gatorade.
good. Okay. Oh, you're good. Oh, see ya. I gotta go.
It sounds like what he's doing is a lot worse than that, though.
Yeah, that sounded really bad. Really, really bad. That is not Simple Living. Steve, that is the next track here. Talk about this song.
Yeah, this is kind of like a soft guitar-driven song. I don't like how his vocals all sound like they're processed, or it's like he's holding up like a microphone and kind of singing through. You know that microphone echo kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like that. I liked the whole like my motto is I'll stop procrastinating tomorrow. So I guess honestly the point of this song is work sucks, I know, and I can relate to that, but I don't know that the song was all that good the way that it sounded.
I didn't think this was as bad as that. I actually enjoyed this one. I thought it was a great tune behind it. I thought this was another great beat. Unique, sounded good. I don't really know if there was much to the lyrics that caught my attention though. I just enjoyed listening to the music. So I know that's not necessarily a complete song, but I think for me, like I could get through this one without, getting bored. So that's a win. I know it's not that shouldn't be the bar to set for anything, but sometimes it's just enough. So I'm with this. I'm looking through the lyrics to see if there's anything that really pops out to me. I think you kind of just said it though. I don't think there was anything else that really, really was worth talking about. So we can go on to the next one.
The big one, your favorite one.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're going to be positive about it, go ahead, and I'll be negative on the back end.
I like the song. So apparently, it's there's a lot of sampling of Supertramp. That's why it says it's called Cupid's Chokehold / Breakfast in America. I mean, this is their big song. If you look at their Spotify, every other song has not a whole lot of listens in comparison to this one. This one was very big. It got to number 4 on the Hot 100. And very obviously, we have some Patrick Stump here on the chorus. And this one just got a huge, huge hook. Take a look at my girlfriend. It has sing-along ability. This is the rap punk pop crossover, and I think it works really well. And the whole everywhere I go I keep a picture of my wallet, like it's got that one memorable line. So it's got the memorable line and the chorus that gets stuck in your head. So I don't hate on it. I think it's fun and I like it.
I'm sure there's some good lyrics here, but I can't get past that. I think that's I don't like the chorus at all. I don't. Take a look at my girlfriend.
You're a Patrick hater.
Yeah, I don't want it just to be about that, though. I mean, yes, that is the case, but sometimes he does good things. I've always said that. Like even the bands that I don't necessarily enjoy, sometimes they do good things. But this hook is bad. This is not music to my ears. Like it's annoying. It's like nails on a chalkboard bad to me. And
Da-da-da-da.
Like how could you want to listen to that? That's just my.
It's catchy.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that so you answer. I'm just saying that in general. It's just hypothetical. Like, it's just a question out to the masses. But look, that da 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 is terrible. The take a look at my girlfriend, like that sing songy thing. I think the tune, maybe it's something about just the way it's sung, the melody there, like the whatever tune that is. It's just, I want to tune it out. And unfortunately, again, could be some really smart lyrics in this song, but I don't care. I just can't get past that, and I don't want to hear it. And I don't think this has anything to do with the fact that I think it was played out. Like, I think it was played out to a large extent. Because if you think about it back then, like, if you were going to play Gym Class Heroes, like, this is what would come on. People would play this song. Like, this is what would come on the radio. This is what they would play on MTV. Even though, I don't know. Did MTV? No, MTV was still going pretty strong.
2005? I think so, yeah.
So I don't even think that plays a factor for me. I just don't like the song itself. So, I mean, I don't understand why this was such a big hit other than it had Patrick Stump on it. Like, isn't that kind of... Do you feel like that's the only reason why people really paid attention to this the way they did? It's not that good. There's other songs that are better.
Sometimes you don't like the poppy crossover hits. When we talked about Paramore, it was kind of the same thing.
I guess, but I don't even think this is catchy. I don't even think this is... this isn't bubblegum. This isn't like... it's just not good. It's something different. I stray away from the very happy poppy stuff. Like you like to a large extent, but I don't even think that's what this is. I think this is just trash. So, sorry, Travi.
Just to put things in perspective, this song has over 500 million streams. There's only one song with Gym Class Heroes that has more, and that's Stereo Hearts, which featured Adam Levine, which came out a little later. But just for comparison, at 516 million streams, the second most popular song on this record has almost 2.5 million.
Wow.
So it's quite the popular jam.
I mean, that's still pretty good, but
it's more than we have. Yeah.
It is a lot more than we have, but I think that, again, it's the go-to song for most people. If you tell somebody Gym Class Heroes, this is probably the song that they would say is Gym Class Heroes, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next one is called Faces in the Hall, and
woof,
dude, this is a heavy song, and it's crazy like how well he crafted it and explained this whole story about this kid who basically got murdered because he was gay. His name was Alberto. Spoiler alert, guys. Go back and listen to the song. His girlfriend was basically like tricked into doing drugs and then got addicted after he died. And it's a heavy song. I like how he basically told the entire first story and then goes back and tells the story from another person in the first story's perspective and then intertwines them. And, the message of the song is very strong. It's, don't be a bully, don't discriminate, don't be a shitty human being. And, also sometimes people get what they deserve because both of the instigators did end up kind of screwed, but, yeah. I think that's all I have for this one.
How did Ronnie Johnson end up screwed? Because
he got drunk and he killed a kid. I mean, his life is basically ruined, right? He's going to be screwed.
Yeah, I got kind of lost towards the end. So first of all, is Alberto? So he has a girlfriend, right? Is it the same
Maria.
Girl they talk about? Is it Maria?
Yes.
Okay, so at the beginning where it says funny style cat and the girl looked like a turtle, not Lisa Turtle, just a turtle. That's Maria.
Yeah. But he's actually homosexual, so it was his girlfriend, but he was dealing with that, and then it leaked out, and these people invited him to a party and beat him to death.
And then Maria was also invited to the party. She did not know Alberto was there, right?
So I think that she had said she didn't know that he was invited. She was invited by Ronnie's girlfriend, who was what was her name? Anna or something like that.
Carrie Ann.
And Carrie Ann was like the head cheerleader. And I think Maria was like a smart person. So she tricked her and said like, you should come to this party. It'll be fun. But she really just brought her there to, I guess, do bad things.
By the way, what's funny is, and I'll just tell, I don't normally do this, but in this scenario, my daughter was the head cheerleader and she was the smart kid too.
Not all head cheerleaders are bad, I would say.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But this is a very dark, very graphic. very sad. Like I listen to this and it's it's not a bad beat. Like it's a song that you can actually kind of like bob your head to. But if you know what you're listening to, you're not going to necessarily feel like dancing.
Right.
Because this is tough. So it's a song to sit there and just kind of reflect on. It's a song that is very powerful and definitely is not one that I don't skip this song. I would not skip this song because I think it has magnetism to it. It's polarizing in a good way. In a good way that, you want to listen to it. You want to understand. You want to have the feels that this song gives you, and that's okay too. So
I agree.
I like this one. I do, it's a tough one to listen to, but I like it.
And at the end of the day, it's a terrible story, but it really does come with a message. I mean, I think this is probably an important track, and hopefully it helped some people out there or made some people feel okay, even though it's a bad story. But at the end of the day, don't be a bully, don't discriminate, don't be a bad person. And good for them for bringing that out, because it's hard for me to remember exactly what the world was like and how PC things were in 2005. But I couldn't imagine that there were too many songs that were covering topics like this. So good for them for addressing it.
What's really sad, though, and this is my last point, is that, a song like this, as cliche as it sounds, in a lot of ways, like, it's really, really sad that actually happens. And it does happen. And that's the sad part about it. Like, that's real life. That's not made up. That's not in a movie. This happens to people. Maybe not so clean, maybe not just in that storybook fashion, but it happens. And that's what's really kind of scary and surreal about something like that. So, but I think, it's and what's interesting is that song then ends on a note where, somebody gets in a car crash coming from the funeral of Maria. It's Carrie Ann. And then the album kind of transitions into several different things that aren't necessarily like just straight up tracks. Like the next one, Graduation Day. So you go from Faces in the Hall to Graduation Day, which I don't know whether or not, there is correlation between the two, but it's an instrumental, right? It's just a straight up instrumental track, which really is I think it's a good listen. It's a really nice tune. I don't always love instrumentals, but I think this one is worth listening to. It's the music is immersive. So I was into this one. Steve, what did you think?
Yeah, I just felt like it was the instrumental outro. Like this could have been the end of Faces in the Hall, but Faces in the Hall was, over 4 minutes long, so they probably just had this be its own track, and it's only 1:44. But agreed, it's a nice instrumental. It's a good. I figure it to be just the outro to the previous track. So I liked it though. I thought it was good.
But the next one, I don't know if you really could say the same thing.
No, Apollo 315. 315, by the way, area code for Syracuse, New York, which is the general area of the country where they grew up. And it's basically just strange radio-like, like NASA communications over instrumentals. There's a cool guitar line in the song. It's got some cool record scratching, but it doesn't really do all that much for me as a track. I don't know if you feel any different.
No, I don't. I didn't get that one. I don't. It was a fine. I guess the instrumental's kind of weird, but then you put that like radio broadcast over it. It's like, where does this fit? How could you want to listen to this? Is this something you could sit down and enjoy? I don't know. Maybe as background music, but I don't think I want to have this in the foreground.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. And I mean, he does that whole like, what did you call it? The automated, I called it the voice thing. What did you call it in the beginning?
I said voice assist, but
voice assist. And they're doing like the radio kind of, over the Apollo 13 kind of voice here. I think they're just playing around.
Yeah, just like they are in the next track, playing around again, right?
Yeah, we just freestyle in part two. I guess part one might have been on the previous record, but I mean, it's just them screwing around in the studio. The line that I took out, the one that I liked was I'm Mario with firepower sticking dick to the princess. I thought that one was funny. That made me laugh. I like that.
I wonder if he actually rap battled anybody in particular.
You mean on that, like ever, or on that specific thing?
Ever.
I guess it's possible. I don't know.
Let's see.
I think some of Eminem's freestyles are better, though. I thought it was fine. It wasn't like the greatest freestyle, but it was, I guess, good enough to put on the album.
Yeah. And you know, the thing about it is like freestyles sometimes they're not freestyles on albums. Like it's just previous stuff they've written. So I'm not going to call them out because who knows? Maybe it was. But a lot of times these guys have like pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of lyrics written. And I guarantee you Eminem has this too.
Yeah,
So
things
when
they've
he's-
just like scribbled down before.
Yeah, like it's just in their heads because they've written all this stuff. So when they're asked to freestyle and they just say drop a beat, they just pull from that cachet of stuff that they've already written. Which, you know, in the long run, you still got to make it fit to the beat that you're performing to, but you know, it's not necessarily right at the top of their heads. I still think Eminem could do that, and I'm sure that a lot of these other guys can too. I just think this maybe was a little bit too clean to be considered that. But hey, if I'm wrong, good for him, and I'm super impressed.
Well, we get back to a regular song. Why don't you kick off to Bob Ross with Love? Because I know
Yeah.
that you like Happy Little Trees.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think this was I was excited to see what this was actually going to be, because why would you call this song that? I mean, other than the fact that the Bob Ross phenomenon probably was running rampant in the mid 2000s. Like it's funny how something like that growing up as a kid, I'd be like, what the hell? Like, I don't want to watch this. Like, I don't want to see a guy painting. Like, it's so dumb. Becomes like such a pop culture phenomenon at a certain point in time. So I want to see what, like, even to the point of Chia Pets, which they probably still have today. But I don't know. Like the song's pretty chill, right? It has a really chill guitar driven beat, I should say, not drum beat. It has kind of like a jazzy funk sound to it with the guitar. So I was into that. The actual lyrics of this song, I don't know. I don't know if I have anything that really I can mention. Maybe you pick something out that I didn't see, Steve. But I thought this was kind of middle of the road. I didn't hate or love this one.
It
What did
feels
you
like
think?
they could do this one like at a jazz club. I feel like at a jazz kind of improv thing, you could hear something like this. I mean, it gives you a little bit, the lyrics, at least a bit of like Travi and his art. I did pull out a little bit of it. So he says, fuck mass appeal, art is art. Only the real can truly feel it. So open your eyes and listen, combine your ears with vision, or do it because you love it or for the cash. That's your decision. It's like I'm torn between two worlds, a paintbrush and a microphone, a canvas or a beat. So where it may be kind of literal, part of me thinks that maybe Travi actually does enjoy painting, and it was some sort of a tribute to Mr. Bob Ross, or maybe he's just, I guess, pointing out that art can take many forms and all art is valid. But I thought it was a decent track. It wasn't a standout. Super kind of funky, and it's got that jazz kind of vibe to it, which I like.
You know, how in the world would you have been able to, like, what was the Bob Ross show for? Was it so you could just paint with, like, do the same thing he's doing? Because we all know, let's be realistic, that's pretty impossible, because just the average Joe with a canvas and some paint is not going to be able to replicate what Bob Ross is doing just by watching him do it. That's silly.
I couldn't tell you what the real vision of the Bob Ross show was, but he did entertain a lot of people.
I mean, if you just want to sit there and watch him paint, I guess that's one thing. But if you're there as like to use it as a
student?
tutorial, yeah, I feel like, you know, you're barking up the wrong tree.
I'm coming to Pittsburgh soon. Maybe we should just take a couple hours, watch an episode of Bob Ross, and see if we can replicate what he's painting.
We could just go to one of those painting places and
Painting
take a
with
bunch
a
of
twist. We'll bring a bottle of wine. And I've done that a few times, painting with a twist.
Let's go and let's do HSNE night. HSNE pod night, a painting with a twist.
That would be fucking hilarious. We'll
We're
bring
doing
microphones actually, it's such a visual medium. We'd have to bring a video of some sort.
Get Stu on the phone. We're making this happen.
All right. Forget, cancel my one day at Four Chord Music Festival. We're going to do that instead.
This is it. This is all we need. This is all we need.
All right.
I didn't like this next one, so I'll just be upfront with you.
So it's a remix of the first track on the album, Papercuts, and it's called Papercuts The Region for Lesions, remixed by Mr. Dibbs. I don't particularly know who Mr. Dibbs is, but it kind of gives me a little bit of those vibes like when Linkin Park did Reanimation, and I really loved Reanimation. I thought that was really cool. I was into it. They basically take the original track, change it around a little bit. They add some like weird screams and some growls, and they do this phone part where it's like this. It sounds like this old man who's calling someone saying, "I've had my eye on you for a while." And it's very, very strange. Not a fan of the remix that much, especially when it's on the same album or same album as the original track. Maybe this could have been like some sort of bonus on MySpace or a digital download, but I didn't particularly dig it.
It's just a bunch of, I think it's like the same song, but just with a bunch of distortion. It's just distorted guitars, distorted vocals. I think if you think back, like I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of this song to begin with. So I think that this kind of takes it down even a couple more notches. So unfortunately, I just wasn't into the remix. Sorry, guys. I know some of you out there like this kind of music, and that's okay. You can enjoy it. I just didn't. But I did enjoy the next one, Kid Nothing Boy versus The Echo Factor. Once again, I think this song had a fantastic beat. And once again, I love the fact that Travi was able to mix it up in his delivery within the song. He had the slower plotting, lyrical delivery, and then he sped it up at times. And this wasn't like in any particular long periods of time. It was just in spurts. So it kept it fresh, kept it exciting. I think that there was a couple of references here. He talked about thrift store scores, and I wonder if he was referencing Macklemore.
Macklemore was later, wasn't it?
Here's what I want to know too. Is this a diss track on somebody?
I don't think so, no.
It seems like it sometimes.
To me, and not to cut you off, unless if you had more to say.
The only other thing is I really like the way the song ended. It kind of had this techno electric feel. I was a fan of that. But all in all, I liked the track. I just thought it was just going through my head. Like, is he talking about somebody? Is he lashing out at somebody specific? But you don't think so.
To me, what it seemed like is he was going back and mentioning all the things that he talked about on this record. He's talking about, he talks about, I could talk about past relationships. I could do a ditty about Jack and Diane, which potentially could have been the sad song. He could go back to childhood. There was the one where he talked about his mom and dad. So to me, it sounded like he was just kind of referencing what he's been doing on this album. I did like how the pace goes slow and then really fast. And overall, I think it's pretty cool. And I think it's pretty impressive that he's been known to drink 22 beers before a show, because otherwise he wouldn't have the balls to go on stage. So that's a lot of beers to drink before having to rap and speak very quickly.
Either have like extremely just high levels of clarity after 22 beers, or you can barely walk. It just depends on the individual.
Yeah. I mean, if they're alcoholic beers, I would say that I don't know that anybody has a high level of clarity after 22 beers.
What do you think maybe he's drinking a lot of water with it though. We don't know that.
Well, that would make you have to pee a lot of times.
Yeah. And why would he be drinking NA beers in the back? You think he's drinking NA beers?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Which is why he would not have clarity.
It's a good track though. It is. It's a good track. It was a head bobber for sure. I thought this one was a standout.
All right. Well, we got our way through this one, but we got one more.
Yeah, this is a weird one, right? This is a strange one. This is kind of like the wrap up of everything, and to me, like, I don't think this isn't reinventing the way. This isn't rocket science. Like he's thanking somebody, right? He's thanking. So the whole thing is about the paper cuts, but now he's saying that you were that super glue. Now I do not recommend that you super glue your paper cuts.
I mean, if they're really bad, you could.
Yeah, it's not. No, I mean that's definitely not the way you want to go. You don't. Yeah, that's chemicals, and it probably could cause additional infection. You know,
Possibly.
you got to really think about that stuff before people are going to do that, and then that's going to be on you.
Probably better than like Scotch tape.
But he's thanking whoever it is that supported him. I don't know whether it's family member or girlfriend or brother or his band or another
Or
friend.
us, listeners.
Us. He's thanking me,
He might be.
even though I didn't like that one song. Am I still being thanked?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so it's nice. I think it's just it's fairly short. The song itself is fairly short, right? It's only a couple minutes. This track is not fairly short though.
No, so yeah, again, you pretty much said it all. To me, he sounded a little Jay-Z like on this track.
He did. Yes, he did.
He maybe it was just the verbiage he was using, but he did sound like Jay-Z.
It was a delivery. It was the way that he was rapping. It just sounded that way.
Yeah, super short thank you song followed by a ton of silence, and then ends with a computer robot voice, same as the beginning, saying how much they like the album and asking for more music. That was kind of funny, but I would think that when you transition the album over to Spotify, you would just cut out the silence and make it another track. Would have made more sense to me rather than keep the track itself is 5 minutes long, but I'm pretty sure the actual song is only like maybe a little more than a minute. I didn't write it down.
Yeah, you have to do it this way because then it hits you out of nowhere.
Like sometimes it scares you when you finish the
absolutely
CD
does.
and you're still driving and you're just not paying attention if the CD was stopped. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, there's something else.
Well, especially because if you had that on really loud, like, and I've done this in the past with other mostly CDs listening to in the car, but yeah, it's just this long pause and then it's like this weird. So I want you to listen to that part of this song in the middle of the night and in the dark with nobody around and see how you feel.
In the middle of the night. All right, I'll try that. I don't know how I would set that up.
Don't listen to In the Middle of the Night by Billy Joel.
River Dreams?
The River of Dreams, yeah. Don't listen to that because that's not going to be the same thing.
I'm going to listen to that after we hang up.
It's not the middle of the night though.
Was that on Fueled by Ramen?
I don't think so.
By the way, do you think that we should have called this Fueled by Ra March? Would that have been better or worse than Fueled by March?
No, because that's kind of like an Egyptian theme.
That was suggested in the Discord today, and I was like, oh, we should have thought of that. But when I say it out loud, it doesn't sound as good.
Yeah, it's like
Fueled by Ra
Egyptian.
March.
It's Egyptian in nature.
Okay.
I think we could do that another time.
All right.
Like walk like an Egyptian, Ra.
Ra March. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so we made the right call. Thank you, Dead Waves, anyway, for your suggestion. I did like it.
He has Dead Ways has a lot of good suggestions, and this one I think we're good. I think we're good with what we got.
I told him I'm going to hire him for the High School Never Ends product marketing team because he's got some good ideas. We'll see if there's an intern role available soon.
Oh, so now you're hiring people without talking to me about it.
We'll consult before it's officially done, of course.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, that was something else, ladies and gentlemen. We were able to get through all of it. I thought this was going to take us minimum like 2 hours to do. It didn't. I think it went by pretty quickly. I think we had some pretty good takes on this stuff, right? I think this is subject matter that probably needs to grow on you, that needs to build. And I like to come back to this one a little bit, like I said at the beginning of the show, and kind of see, once we've had a chance, if we do get back to listening to this on our own, if we have different thoughts, feelings, if we pick out different things or see different things so we didn't see it first. So
there's also a Papercut Chronicles 2. That was Gym Class Heroes' last album, Papercut Chronicles 2. So potentially maybe we should listen to that and see where the how it carries over.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. So mark it down. 2026.
What happened to 2025?
It's already booked.
Oh, you're right. Yes, we plan. We're planners. Type A's.
Maybe.
Spreadsheets.
Listen, this is it, Steve. This is the segment. This is the one that when it's just me and you, it becomes even more important, even more of a spotlight on what we have to say here. And by the way, it's been a nice episode with just me and you. I always say that. It's refreshing.
Very nice.
I really enjoy our guests, and I love the fact that we have guests on the show of all walks of life. But sometimes I do really appreciate when it's just me and you getting a chance to air our grievances or our happy thoughts about what we're talking about. So just calling that out there like
that's
I normally
sweet. I love
do.
You too.
I didn't say, but what I did say,
you said it.
What I did say was it's time for Ranking It. Wingman Steve, will you be my wingman on this segment of Ranking It?
Indeed I will. Shall I go first, or would you like to go first?
Well, just a quick explanation for those that don't know what Ranking It is. We rank our top 3 favorite songs 3-1, and that's really all it is. So today we're going to do that with the album The Papercut Chronicles by Gym Class Heroes. One of these days, we're going to have to just do ranking it on something unrelated to what we've just talked about, and that would throw everybody off. But today is not that day. So, Steve, go ahead. I would like for you to go first. Give us your top 3 off this album.
Okay, I will. And I'm going to have 4. I'm going to have an honorable mention. And I was considering totally switching up my list, but I think I'm going to stick with my original list. So, no honorable mention. A tie for number 3. Number 3 goes to both Makeout Club and Pillmatic because both were awesome songs and deserve to be on the list. Number 2, I'm giving it to the big hit Cupid's Chokehold because if you think Gym Class Heroes, you probably think of that song, which means it's a good song, in my opinion, and it gets stuck in your head. And even though I may have misinterpreted exactly what it was about, I liked the first official real track, which was Papercuts. And the album was named after it, and it's a theme throughout the whole thing. So I'm going to stick with that. My number 1 is Papercuts.
Titular.
Man, I missed it twice. What is up with me?
Somewhat titular. Okay, well, I think I was very transparent with my likes and dislikes here, so I'm going to have to work on that. That's a work on thing for Chris 183.
You can't hide your enthusiasm.
I guess not. But number 3 for me is going to be Kid Nothing Boy versus the Echo Factor. I really chose this one because of this music. The music in this track is, for me, it's top 3 on this album. So check this one out if you haven't. Definitely worth, I think, just a run through. The lyrics don't necessarily stick out to me as anything fantastic other than the delivery. So, but big fan of that one. Number 2, this is where we overlap a bit, Wingman Steve, but that's just okay with me. So I'm going to go Pillmatic. All the reasons you said and more. Really just solid track through and through. And number 1, can't get away from it. Makeout Club. I just really like that one. I just really did. It was just, it's funny. It's a good song. I can get into it. It's a head bobber, and it's clever. So,
and Chris was the president of the Makeout Club in his high school.
He was not, but that is not a club. That would be. I don't think that's ever a club.
It's a down low club.
Well, that's it, Steve. We got through it. We did it. This is the episode, the Papercut Chronicles. We usually take just a couple minutes and talk about how this album ranks against or stacks up against some of the other albums with this particular artists, but we can't do that because we don't know, right? We don't know.
I don't know in terms of the full albums. No. So we can skip that evaluation, but I think that Gym Class Heroes is pretty cool. And for Fueled by Ramen to sign a rap rock artist when there wasn't a whole lot of that out there, I think good for them. That was awesome. They did a lot of things that were a little bit different, right? They had the Neon Pop Punk and the Cobra Starship. I think 303 was on their roster at some point too. So I think that they were, on the side of change and different stuff. So Fueled by Ramen did a good job signing these guys. Thank you, Pete Wentz. Thank you, Fueled by Ramen. And I'm cool with Gym Class Heroes.
Do you think they had staying power though? That's the only thing that I'll ask you. Like staying power through 2024. Do people still know who they are?
I think people probably know a couple of their big hits, but I mean, they haven't had really like a song or an album since like 2011, 12, somewhere around there. So I don't think that they're super popular or anything like that. But if you were into Fueled by Ramen, if you were into punk and rock and stuff like that, I think that Gym Class Heroes and Travie McCoy somehow.
Okay, just out of curiosity, I'm gonna go start asking people and see what they say.
Do it. Do a poll.
And start doing it. How about you guys out there? If you're listening, let us know. Do you still know who Gym Class Heroes are? Well, after this show, you might, right? Even if you didn't, go check them out. Let us know what you think. We can talk about how you can do that. And that's through our socials. That's the best way, ladies and gentlemen, especially our Discord server. That's where you can talk to us directly. We have some really great conversations on there with some really great individuals and people. We're building a community and we want you to join. So check us out on Discord, and you can get to that server and all of our other socials via our hub website, which is simply put, www.hsnepod.com. That's www.hsnepod.com.
Yes, and while you're there, check out the shop. Buy a hat, buy a t-shirt, buy a hoodie, buy something cool for you or for your loved ones. We are part of the Dragon Wagon independent network of podcasts, and it's Dragon Wagon's birthday this month. So support the network, buy some swag, and go to the shop at hsnepod.com. Also, it would help us greatly if you haven't given us a review, a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, as well as a written, hey, you guys rock. Go ahead and do that. It'll only take you 1 second. Be like, no big deal. Just write it down, and thank you so much from me and Chris. Fueled by March has a little bit of time left in it, and we got something special lined up for next week. So make sure and tune back in. Until then, keep on rocking those dad bods. Throw up your rock hands and blast the pop punk.
Internet! I'm Coy Jandro, a Bostonian who loves pop culture, comic books, and people. And I host Coycast. It's a podcast about all those things. If it fits in on a con floor, we talk about it on Coycast. Myself and producer Jake do previews, reviews, deep dives, and tinfoil hat theories about everything from movies, TV, and the comic books themselves. I also like to dish out comic recommendations from my 100-plus pull list a week so you know what's best to buy. So join us, True Believer, on Coycast.com or wherever you're listening to this podcast right now.
Dragon Wagon.